What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Sports Snobs. I'm Pat. He's Kaz. Check us out on the scenesnobs.com. Watch us on YouTube or check us out wherever you get your podcasts.
What is
Yeah,
that?
I was just on YouTube. I got it confused.
Okay.
But YouTube's what you want to be. You don't want to be on YouTube.
You're on Pornhub. Don't lie.
Oh man, calling me out. Shit, that's not good. Anyway, it's been a couple weeks.
Sam's not in the room, right?
No, she's upstairs.
Okay.
It's been a couple weeks since we recorded an episode due to the holidays and whatnot. So happy holidays, happy
By the
New
way,
Year.
for everybody that doesn't know Pat, Sam is his wife. It's not a man. I'll point that out.
You got to leave it
And
mysterious.
I don't mind. I don't mind if you went that way, dude. I don't mind, but I just want to be honest and let people know that Sam is not your husband.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
No, nothing at all. Transparency
Nothing
is key,
at all.
though. I respect it. I
Nothing at
appreciate
all.
it. No, not at all. But yeah, happy holidays, happy New Year. I got an early Christmas gift this year. And I wish we could take it back to the tape earlier a few weeks ago when we were talking about fantasy football, because I'm not sure, I believe our fantasy football league is over, and I believe the team with my team name on it is the one that actually won the championship. I'm not positive.
On this podcast, will you explain your team name?
Oh, absolutely not.
Because
Absolutely not.
then I will not respect your victory, because you will not tell anybody for 2-3 years what your team name means.
It's been 2 years, and that's okay. I have a lot of respect for the money that I won, and that money respects me as well. I appreciate that. So hopefully Jamie can get my money pretty soon. I don't know what that process is like, if we have to do it through some like Swiss bank accounts and stuff like that. I'm not sure how sketchy this stuff is, but we'll figure that out.
It's usually about 3 weeks for him to collect the money and get it out.
Gotcha.
But yeah.
Well, anywho, let's jump right in. College.
I got one for you.
Oh, here's Mike.
I got one. Let me know what you think about this. So, Brian's boy over here, the Kaz Hounds, Mr. Dolphins, your boy Ryan, Mr. Fitzpatrick, is tested positive for COVID. Hopefully he's okay. I don't want to put anything dead on him, no hexes, but it got me thinking, and I want to know what you guys think, because you're the sports guys. I'm just stick with the movies, but what do you think about COVID this year? What has it done? Has it made games interesting? Have you seen some sleepers? Like, what have you liked about it? What have you disliked about it?
So I'll start off and I'll say the Cleveland Browns last week lost to the Jets because every one of their wide receivers had COVID. I don't think it makes it exciting. I don't think it makes it interesting. I think it makes it very hard as a fantasy football player or a bettor to actually go into these games. So, I mean, Fitzpatrick was not going to be the starter this week. Tua was, but Fitzpatrick, as Flores said, is the reliever. So if they were down to the Bills and they need to win this game to get the playoffs, they don't have that now. So now it's all Tua. But I'm surprised the NFL was able to pull off a season. Knock on wood, we got 3 days left, that had no cancellations. So congrats to them. They didn't do it in a bubble like the NHL and the NFL. College football couldn't do it. So congrats to the NFL for doing it.
Yeah. I mean, it's just look at the AFC North. Like, that division alone is the perfect representation of how COVID affected football, among other sports, but specific to this question and the current Ryan Fitzpatrick issue, or the current Browns issue. Like, the Browns, obviously, the recent cases, they lose to the Jets. And then you have the Steelers, who essentially get screwed by other teams' COVID situations. They essentially don't have a bye week since like week 3 or 4. So they played 12 straight games. They started off undefeated, 10-0 or 11-0, and then now look at them. I mean, they're still going to have a 12-win season essentially, but still, they've been kind of ravaged and fatigued and all that stuff. And you look at the Ravens, who they couldn't even play a game because they didn't have enough players to actually put out on the field. And then when they did, they ended up playing on a Wednesday, I think it was, or maybe it was a Tuesday. I don't even remember.
I think it was Tuesday.
It was just terrible. It was just a terrible, terrible product. And then the worst of it all was the Broncos and their quarterback situation a few weeks ago. Then you have your wide receiver playing quarterback. So I think it's affected the game negatively, and it's made it very difficult for bettors. And we have to say that, right? Because now that we have gambling, it's going on, and most states have legalized it through whatever app you use, BetMGM, DraftKings, etc. Fantasy football is obviously much more difficult, but just for the player, I mean, like, how terrible is that? If you're on the Broncos that game and you're a wide receiver, you're like, all right, we're basically running the Army offense here. We should do like just running the ball all day, triple option, whatever. I'm not going to catch any passes. They should have built in a couple week cushion. Like, why?
They did.
Not?
They did build in a 2-week cushion.
But why not use it? Especially for the Browns last week. Listen, I'm all for taking.
I'm going to tell you why. Television money, my friend. Oh. Television money. That's why they haven't used it.
Yeah, well, a question on this then. Would you think the NFL would have benefited from having like a bubble like the NBA did?
You can't have a bubble with an NFL team. An NBA team, you're talking 14 players, maybe 10 staff. NFL, you're talking 54? I think they actually increased it this year because of COVID. And you're talking 20 to 30 staff. That's a hotel right there just for that team. So how are you going to do a bubble with 8 teams? You can't. And it's not going to happen with the NFL. That's why they didn't do it. But they pressed forward. They did it. Were there unfortunate games because they pressed forward with limited players? Absolutely. But you know what? They, knock on wood, 3 days away from the end of the season. They got through the full season on time. We're going to have a playoffs.
Barely.
We're going to have a Super Bowl.
They barely got through with the Browns. And of all teams, right, how perfect is it that the Browns could have potentially put the entire playoffs in jeopardy if they make it. But yeah, there's no way to bubble it up, but this is the perfect time to bubble up.
Baker lives in his stadium.
So exactly. Bubble up in Cleveland. No better place. Baker will welcome you with open arms.
Progressive.
He's got.
Let's get a sponsor. Come on, let's get a sponsor.
Hey,
Progressive up here.
That actually brings me to a good. I wanted to know what you guys thought about this. So it's been 18 years since Cleveland's been in the what was it, in the playoffs?
Only 18?
Yeah, ESPN actually put out a pretty funny list of things that happened the last time that they were in the playoffs. Like Friends was at the top of the ratings. You had the USA shocks the world at the World Cup. Kelly Clarkson wins the first American Idol.
Wow.
Things like that. Michael Vick goes to first Pro Bowl.
And he goes to prison. All in that same time frame.
LeBron was on TV for the first time in high school on national TV. And Lose Yourself by Eminem was number 1.
Oh, now I got to hit up my Pandora account right now. Come on, dude.
But 18 years, that's a long time. We have a whole generation out now of new adults who've never seen the Browns. So what is it for you guys, like, when you see that?
Wait, Pat, aren't you a Mets fan?
I am.
Oh, it's even longer. God, we got people that are retired that haven't even seen the Mets win a championship.
Oh, win a championship is one thing, but they were in the World Series in 2015 or whatever it is. Browns haven't even made the playoffs. They hadn't had a winning season until this year. This is their first 500 or better season.
Sure. Let me get my hair out and throw out my elbow. Go ahead.
What are you talking about?
What are you saying? Maybe there's something to Baker living in the stadium. That's what's happening here. He's dedicated.
It's extra home field advantage because he lives there, 100%. No, but the reason the Browns have been not that they've been bad for so long, but the reason the Browns haven't made the playoffs in so long is their division. Like, you have the model of consistency.
I disagree. I disagree 100%.
The Steelers are the exact opposite. They've essentially made the playoffs every single year, had winning seasons almost every single year. Like, it's hard to make the playoffs in an AFC North division that's always physical and always comes down to the last couple of weeks when you have that one team who's the exact opposite as you.
So they've gone through how many coaches in the past 5 years?
The Browns?
Yes.
Probably.
That's what we're talking about. We're not talking about the Mets anymore.
Well, I said Steelers, so, I don't know what you're talking about. 3 or 4, probably.
Right. And they have not been very good, the Browns. They've had horrible management. They picked Manziel. Now they're doing well. They got Jarvis Landry. Odell. I'm not a big Odell fan. You as a Giant fan, you might be, but I think he's a cancer to the locker room. But now I think they have the right GM and the right coach in place for them to potentially move forward. But if I was a Browns fan, wow, that's worse than being a Dolphins fan.
Yeah, but I agree. They've been terrible. There's no doubt about that, and it starts at the top. But I mean, they had a couple seasons here and there where
close. You said they were close every year. They weren't.
I didn't say they were close. Are you listening at all? Is the hat covering your ears? Pick the hat up a little bit. I didn't say they were close. I said the reason they've been having difficulties because you have the Steelers, who are the complete opposite of them. So it's hard to win a division when you have the model of consistency that is the Steelers. The Steelers have had basically as many coaches in the last 5 decades that the Browns had in the last 5 years. That's legit. I'm not saying that's the only reason they can't succeed, because their ownership, their coaches, it's all terrible. But I'm just saying it makes it extra hard when you're such a bad organization. It's even harder to dig yourself out of that hole. I mean, they've had a couple. This is going to sound sad, unless you're a Jets fan. They've had a couple 5-win seasons, a 7-win season, and then earlier in the 2000s, 9 wins, and then 2007, 10 wins. So they've had a couple shots here and there, and then I don't know, they just screw it up the following year. Like, you gotta be able to take that momentum and actually do something with it, but you can't when you're in the AFC North and you have the Pittsburgh Steelers there.
I'll agree to disagree that it's because of the Steelers. And I'm sorry, Chris, if you're watching. I don't think it's just the Steelers. I think it's the organization, not the division they're in. That's what I'm going to say.
You think the organization is – so sorry, I'm listening along. I need to know what you mean. So you think it's the organization that was making the Steelers good, not the division, or?
No, I'm saying the organization that Cleveland had makes them bad until they just revamped it and got over it, because they made horrible draft picks. They made horrible decisions. Now they got a good coach. They got a good GM. They're making some good decisions. So I don't think it's that the Steelers were that great. I think, just like my Dolphins, I say this all the time. Back in the day, maybe 6 years ago, the Dolphins had a horrible front office. The Cleveland Browns had a horrible front office, horrible coaching staff. And that's what caused them to not be a Ravens, a Steelers.
Fair, but to prove my point, I mean, look at the NFC East this year, right? If the Browns were that 5-win team in 2013 2004 through 2006, and they played in the NFC East, they could make the playoffs. So, the division has something to do with it.
Yeah, but Joe Judge, I actually like him as a coach. But what are they doing to help him in the front office? They're not doing anything.
Well, they can't yet. I mean, there's a lot going on there, and they don't even know if they're keeping Gettleman. But I don't know. That's a totally different subject.
Anybody in the NFL, any fan of a team in the NFL can say, well, if we were in the NFC East, we'd be a playoff team. Yeah, because the NFC East is horrible. And it's coming down to this week, which is scary. You have 3 teams that are either going to get the number 3 seed or be a top 10 pick. That is disgusting.
Number 4 seed. That's
3.
How could they be the 3 seed? They would be the worst division winner. 4 divisions: North, South, East, West.
Okay.
But your point remains, for sure. So it's like, do you even want to win? Are you going to do anything in the playoffs? But if you're the Cowboys, you could upset the Buccaneers if you're the Cowboys. The way their offense is playing, I could totally see that happening. They could win 1 game, but what's it worth? What's the 1 game in the playoffs worth? What's hanging that divisional banner in your stadium worth if it says 2020 NFC East champion 6-10, and then everyone looks up at that and it's just like, oh, I remember that year. That was absolutely horrendous. Burn that thing. We could have drafted a quarterback, right? You could draft a guy from BYU probably in that position of a pick if you got like whatever it is, the 10th pick in the draft or something like that. Trade up. Dolphins have some picks. They'll probably trade. There's a bunch that goes into it.
Dolphins trade. They got their 3rd pick.
They have like 3 first-round picks.
They got 2.
Point is,
2 first round and 2 seconds.
Point is, if you're the Giants especially, right, you need help on your offensive line or on your defense just in general. Like, stack your defense, right? Because you got Saquon coming back. Daniel Jones, you can give him another year anyway. And your wide receivers are, I mean, what are you really going to do in the draft?
Saquon, is he really going to come back? Is he going to be explosive like he was? Like, are you worried about that as a Giants fan?
I mean, Adrian Peterson came back.
Didn't he tear his other ACL and now it's his other knee? Or is it the same knee?
I don't know. Did he do that? I didn't even know he did. Was that in college that he did that, or high school, or whatever? I don't know. But you wouldn't draft a
8th grade football.
But you wouldn't draft running back. You're an idiot. You wouldn't draft a running back anyway. The point is, the NFC East is terrible. So yes, is it worth even winning the division, or is it worth getting the 9th or 10th pick in the draft? I don't know. Just ask the Eagles. They know exactly what they're doing.
They'll probably pick another quarterback. I'm not even going to go there.
Yeah. It's sad. It's a sad situation there, as well as everywhere else.
They got $500,000 on Carson Wentz, and nobody will take him. And now they moved on to Hurts. So you got $500,000 or $500 million, I should say, quarterback sitting there. What are you going to do?
I mean, trade him. People talk about
how?
Hey,
salary cap.
Hey, Colts.
Baseball.
Look at the Colts. They're close. They're close to winning the Super Bowl. Like, their defense is the real deal.
Rivers is over? You think Rivers is done this year?
If the Colts don't make the playoffs, which it's possible they don't.
It's very possible.
If the Colts
need a lot of help.
If the Colts don't make the playoffs, I think as an organization you have an obligation on how well your team currently is, right? You have an obligation to at least light some fire under Philip, because I mean, this year he's been good. He's been a good quarterback, better than many other teams. But do you really trust Philip Rivers as another year down the road? He's already thrown. You see, last week, I don't know what he's doing. He basically threw a punt down the field to the Steelers.
You trust Wentz more than Philip Rivers?
you bring Wentz in, you tell the Eagles that you will take Wentz if they take a $10 million of his annual salary, whatever's left, right? So that way you're paying for essentially expensive backup quarterback, but you're only on the hook for Rivers for one more year anyway. So I say you bite the bullet. I mean, what else do the Colts need? They don't need any other offense. They don't really need any other defense. And I think Carson Wentz would be a much better quarterback in that offense. The way they run the ball, and you can incorporate like the some option in there, kind of make it more of a college type offense. The Colts could be an extremely dangerous team, especially with Tennessee. Tennessee is the model of inconsistency. And the Texans suck, and so do the Jaguars. So that's your division for the next 5 years.
Texans don't suck.
They're speaking of ownership and terrible decisions. I mean, that's the definition of terrible. Trading DeAndre Hopkins. That as a result of that,
they got rid of the GM and the coach. That was the same guy that did that.
So stupid. Oh my God. I never understood. I never understood how that even happens. Like, why would you give anybody, like, besides Bill Belichick, like, why would you give anyone that type of power? It makes
even Bill Belichick. You got to have checks and balances.
Oh, I agree.
You got to have it.
But if anybody, I would understand that. But like Bill O'Brien, just because he once sat in a room with Bill Belichick, he gets the same type of treatment. It's ridiculous. But yeah, I mean, in that division, the Colts, they need to do something to put them ahead of, like, they're right now. It's going to be them and Tennessee neck and neck every year. Don't you want that extra, I don't know, little something to start your offense? How scary is it
that a Dolphins throwaway quarterback is now at the helm of one of the better teams in the AFC?
Every time I see, like, I'm watching Get Up and they're talking about the Jets, I'm just like, imagine what Sam Darnold could be. To your point, like, Ryan Tannehill was basically, what was he, like the 25th quarterback in the league or below under Adam Gase, who's this offensive genius, and now all of a sudden he goes to a team whose coach is more defensive minded than anything else. Obviously, there's coordinators who help you out too, but like the point is, he went from an offensive genius to a defensive-minded head coach with coordinators and became, top 5 quarterback in the league if you consider how he contributes.
I'll say top 7.
Yeah, I think it's arguable just the way to the earlier point, bringing like that college feel to the offense, because he's pretty quick, he's pretty fast. So read option, you got Derrick Henry, it all comes together. He's one of the most accurate passers in the league.
He controls the game. He will not win a game. He'll control a game. That's why I'll say top 7.
And that's fine, because you can go off for like 5 touchdowns in a game. He did it earlier in the year against Indianapolis. So
how many quarterbacks that controlled the game won a Super Bowl? There's a lot.
There's a lot.
Name a lot.
Definitely. And so that I think that's the point exactly, right? Is that if you take Carson Wentz away from Doug Peterson, who is supposed to be somewhat of a quarterback, I don't want to say guru, but whisperer, right? Because he worked with Nick Foles and they won a Super Bowl, but that's, in my opinion, a fluke, but whatever. I mean, look at Chicago. Point is, take Carson Wentz from there. What happens when he's in Indianapolis? Take Sam Darnold from the Jets. What happens if he's in San Francisco? Like, there's too much influence by these terrible ownership decisions, drafting decisions, priorities that the coaches have. It's kind of a crapshoot. Like, you're a product of your system. Unless you're Aaron Rodgers or Patrick Mahomes, and you're just a superior athlete.
I totally agree, because Tannehill he has a running back now. He has an offensive line. He never had that in Miami. So it was all him in shotgun trying to throw it to subpar receivers. Now he has average receivers, and no disrespect to them, but they're not household names. But he has a running back who packs the box every time. So he could do that RPO. And he can sit back there and throw that little 10-yard slant. that sluggo. He can do all that.
Yeah, and they got A.J. Brown, who's an absolute beast in that type of offense. Get him the ball, let him break a few tackles. Corey Davis, same thing. But okay, so right, if you had to bet, and I know we're going to make picks later, but if you had to bet which team was going to come out of the AFC South, who would you take right now? Are you taking Ryan Tannehill and the Tennessee Titans, or are you going to go with Indianapolis? Spreads aside, straight up winning the division this week.
So Titans play who?
Texans. Colts play Jaguars. So it's interesting because the Jaguars are, again, they're a terrible good team. They're a good, terrible team.
So with J.J. Watt's recent comments, I feel like that locker room is totally divided. I don't feel like they're going to come out and play. Like, people are talking, oh, J.J. Watt inspired the locker room. No, he divided it with those comments because he was specifically calling out certain people in that locker room. They're not going to come out and play. They're not. And if it's a winning in, I'm going Titans.
Yeah, I can totally see. Side note, J.J. Watt was definitely that kid who just snitched on his brothers all the time. Like he was that one of the brothers for sure, no doubt in my mind. But that's a whole other topic I can go into. Never really liked him. He seems fake to me. Seems fake. I don't know. But
well, Pat, real quick to your question, to what you're saying about J.J. Watt. So there's three brothers, right?
Yeah, J.J. and
T.J.
Yeah,
And then the one that never made it. He was a Wisconsin dude, I think.
Yeah, they're like the Manning family of defense.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. It's kind of a react or relax when it comes to J.J. Watt. So his brother steals cookie from the cookie jar. You think J.J.'s telling on him?
100%.
So you think his other brother's maybe kissing a girl out in the car late at night. You think JJ's telling on him?
Oh, 100%. 100%.
So you think his brother's drinking at a college party. You think JJ's telling on him?
100%. He's probably tackling him while he's drinking it and not letting him.
You heard it here first, everybody. J.J. Watt is a complete and utter tattletale.
Yeah, don't come hurt me, JJ, please. Please.
I'll give you his address.
If I give a shout out to Subway, will that make anything better, you think? They love those Subway. I do appreciate those Subway commercials, I won't lie.
Now you're kissing ass. I see how it is.
Don't call yourself Jared.
I don't want to die. JJ Watt will kill me. He'll eat me. The big man.
That is Mike made a great comment right there.
I
love that throwaway.
I missed it. Damn.
Don't call yourself Jared.
Yeah, you can't do that anymore. Whatever happened to him, right?
Anymore? Come on. It's like 6 years ago. Come on.
A lot happened in 6 years.
The average age of how younger the girls were from 18 that he would chase.
Yikes.
Hey, it's podcast, so good. So
we gotta edit that out.
No. Why? I didn't say it was a good thing. I'm telling you, it's a terrible thing. He deserves to be in prison.
So you have JJ Watt who does all these commercials for Subway with the whole Jared situation, and you have Peyton Manning who does all the Papa John's commercials with the whole Papa John's situation. It's fascinating.
Peyton Manning hasn't done any lately.
I know, but he used to, and Mike just said they're like the Mannings of defense. It's just funny how they both get paid by these companies
sponsors
to their commercials, and it's interesting how that works out. Huh?
Giant controversy behind these companies. Yeah,
we should look into this. They might have something to do with it.
So let me ask you guys this question. This popped up. Kamala got what was it? Charged $5,000. Alvin Kamara got charged $5,000 for his was it red and green Christmas cleats. You think that's? I'm kind of calling BS on it, but I want to hear what you guys think.
I thought you were going with Kamala Harris first. I was really
I went the wrong way with it.
I thought Kamala Harris got fined by Joe
We're going
Biden.
politics now. We're going politics. Come
I was
on.
like, I didn't sign up for this. I don't want to go into those conversations. But I mean, it's the right
Hold
thing.
on, let me get my MAGA hat on.
Oh my God, you would as a Dolphins fan have a MAGA hat. I think it's the right thing though. He knows the uniform requirements. Listen, I'm not trying to be that guy, but they all say it. They all say it before every single game. And you have weeks where you can do my cause, my cleats, yada yada yada. Like, does it matter to him? No. It's what is it, $25,000, $50,000? It's nothing. That's just like change to me and you. So to him, he doesn't care. He probably knew going into it. But I mean, it's legit. He can't be mad. Like he has to know, like, I'm paying $50,000 to wear these cleats today. And you just have to accept it. That's just the way the NFL is.
So
Love the cleats. Love the cleats.
I like that he did it. But I hate the rule. I hate the why. Like certain players, like so many players on the NFL, they have to tape up their cleats so you don't see a logo because there's only so many people that can have a logo on the field. That's stupid. It's like college. Let the players get paid for what they do. So if you want to pay Alvin Kamara however much to wear red and green cleats, and he scores 7, 16, 25 touchdowns in those cleats, oh well, you win. It's capitalism. That's what it is. So some of you know that I won't say his name because he's going through a lot, but I asked an NBA player to do Brody's battle on his sneakers on Brody's birthday. It was a nationally televised game. He was willing to do it. And then his agent texted and said, we need 2 to 3 weeks to get it approved by the NBA. The fuck is that? What is that? That's horrible. Like, he wants to do something nice for somebody, and it's like, oh no, the NBA gotta approve it. The NFL gotta approve red and green cleats. You can't have so many people wearing Nike cleats on the field. Why? It's stupid. It is so stupid.
I agree. The underlying premise of it is stupid. 100%. I think it's dumb. To an extent. I mean, you don't want people wearing like ridiculous uniform pieces, like even in baseball, like you can't wear like certain sleeves or it's a bunch of stuff. But point is, like,
if you're a pitcher, you should not be able to wear a white sleeve. Yeah, so I agree with that.
So there's a reason for like some things, like if you're on the Packers and you're wearing like a tie-dye, like socks and like I get that.
I could wear pink wristbands. I could wear pink socks.
Yeah, but during those certain like months or
but whatever, then why can't I wear? I can wear it in October, but I can't wear it in November. What's the difference?
Well, what's the difference if you were to wear sneakers to work? You have a dress code. No.
I'm only allowed to wear sneakers to work on Fridays.
Exactly. So why not? Why can't you wear it on Monday? I get it. I'm not trying to say it's the same.
Friday.
100%. I get it. But what I'm saying is you've accepted the fact that there's a certain time where you can wear jeans and sneakers potentially. These guys get paid millions of dollars. They just have to accept the fact. Point is, it's a stupid. I understand the premise of it is stupid, generally speaking. But again, they know the rules. So like Alvin Kamara knew going into it he was going to have to pay a fine, and he accepted that, and then he donated the same amount to charity. So legitimate.
If I was him, I'd wear the red and green again this week.
Well, he should if he's going to score 6 touchdowns. I mean, geez. And I was going up against him in ESPN fantasy, and that didn't go well.
Well, do you think that should be something that's governed by the NFL or governed by each individual team?
I feel like
that's an opinion. I'm
Really,
just,
I would
gotta be
say
NFL.
it needs to be a league rule.
Yeah.
Because you can't have. Here's the thing, right? If New Orleans says you could wear red and green shoes, and let's say Detroit says no, you can only wear white shoes, guess what? Free agents are going to go to the more liberal
True.
team. So that's why it needs to be an NFL rule. But
Yeah.
I don't agree with the NFL rule.
But and this goes back to, I think it was last year where this came up, and it was absurd. But they were talking about Lamar Jackson on the Ravens, right? And there was like that one play. I don't know if it was a comment someone made, or like they said they couldn't see the ball because like it was the same color as his skin tone. So imagine wearing brown sleeves, same color as the ball, right? If you're a team, why wouldn't you do that? Because then you can't see the ball if you're running a read option. So that's like one example of how it can give you an advantage where the defense wouldn't be able to react as quick.
Red and green shoes do not give you an advantage.
No, I agree. But to Mike's
BYU
point,
with a blue field gives you an advantage.
well, to Mike's question though, it's like team or league, and you couldn't do team because right there, if you're smart, you would just say, all right, well, we're all going to wear brown sleeves. You can't see the football. You know what I mean? So that's why the league would regulate that. Let's not go into blue fields, please. I can't stand it. I absolutely can't stand it. I think Coastal Carolina has the same stupid field.
What's that team that has the purple field?
In college?
Yeah, there's oh god.
Purple field. I don't know.
There's a college team with a purple field.
It's the same thing with basketball courts too in college. Like
Oh,
Oregon's court
uglier.
is stupid.
Even Brooklyn. I don't even like Brooklyn Stadium.
100%. It's terrible. It looks like the TV's in black and white. Or someone like spilled. My wife said it looks like they spilled paint on the floor, and they were like, "Oh, we got to clean this up real quick before the game." It's hideous. But good thing they have Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving on the court.
Hardwood with maybe a red, like in the paint. You can paint that red. You can paint that blue.
Yeah.
Don't get creative. Don't do all that.
I like the Celtics court. I think they have like a classic look. They've modernized a little bit, but it's very like clean cut. I like it.
It is.
Yeah. So I don't know. The whole point is here. Leagues do what they want to fit their agenda, and they make these rules and they piss off the players. I mean, look on Twitter. Every week there's a complaint about some rule in the NFL or some rule in baseball, yada, yada, yada. It's like, get over it. You're getting paid millions of dollars. Yes, there's stupid rules.
Are you on Seinfeld? I'm just questioning.
Am I on Seinfeld?
Yeah.
I don't understand what that means.
The yada, yada,
Brian
yada.
dating himself
jeez.
by 25 years.
And I've watched probably 90% of Seinfeld episodes, honestly. I did not get that reference. That's on me. I'm ashamed. Absolutely ashamed.
So real quick, I mean, we got
We got to do some picks.
Some bowl football going on. Bowls are going on this weekend. So we got some championships coming up. We have the NFL, the postseason starting soon. So we got to talk champions. And before we start making picks, which
you want to play the music?
Sadly to say, Pat is behind on.
Oh,
maybe he can make a comeback this weekend, but let's congratulate our champion, Pat, for winning his fantasy football. And who did you beat?
I didn't beat Brian because you know why? He didn't actually make it to the championship. So it was sad. I wish it could have come down to that. And then I think this week he put up like a 7, like some terrible score. So I would have beat him anyway. But
McCaffrey, Edwards-Helaire, my two top running backs were on the bench.
And what did we say earlier in the season? You were like, who's good? No, I think it was damn it. Who's the dude the Lions fan in our league? I forget his name. He said, who's gonna be the biggest bust this year? And I said, Clyde Edwards-Helaire and Christian McCaffrey. Granted, it's due to injuries, but I said those are risky picks.
Helaire was not a bust.
Yes, he was.
Well, we'll talk about. I mean, listen, you didn't make the champions this year, but you may win the picks challenge. You're still pulling ahead. What's the score?
16-12. I'm only down by 4. I can close this in a hurry.
16-12.
You got 8 points to go.
8 points. You going to go 4 for 4 this week?
Wait, who owes a shot this week?
It would be you. I got 3 last week. You got 2. Oh, look at that.
Look, he got a mini bar on his desk.
What is that?
The Remy.
Oh, the Remy. I'm sorry. I don't have the money for that. Well, now I do since I won fantasy football. I've never seen a Remy Martin bottle.
It's because he keeps selling all that Dolphins memorabilia and adding new Giants memorabilia behind him.
It's all fake. Don't worry about it. It's from China.
He sold the Merino jersey.
Cheers, my friend.
Yeah, good luck with that. Cheers.
I will not gag like you did last week.
I listened though. You didn't really hear it too much in the audio. Beautiful. Beautiful. But yeah, right. Down 4. This is a gap I can easily close. I'm not worried at all. I'm going all underdogs this week actually if the picks are available. If the picks are available. Well, I can just have faith in your terrible picks, but I won't do that. So
terrible picks, but yet I'm up. Okay.
We can pick. All right, let's just jump right into it then. Why wait? I go first because you picked first last week. Let me pull up my beautiful, beautiful picks. I got to do it because I'm a homer. Let's start it off with the Cowboys at the Giants. I'm taking the Giants. Plus 1.5. Win. Washington loses, and they're in the playoffs. So not only will I get 2 points to my pick total, but then we'll have a playoff berth. The NFC East champions with that terrible banner hanging in the stadium. But it's okay. It gives me another week to enjoy Giants football. I don't think I honestly it's gonna sound stupid. I think the Cowboys have the better offense to win the game, but the way the Giants defense has been playing lately is just lights out. Very, very impressive. Leonard Williams, that's another bad look for the Jets. I mean, they gave him up for essentially nothing, and he's leading the team in sacks. The defensive line is stacked. Blake Martinez is playing as he usually does, as he did for the Packers for many years, leading the team in tackles. I think we get Bradbury back this week, so I'm not really worried about that explosive offense for the Cowboys. It's good. It's better than the Giants for sure. The Giants can't put up points, but I think it'll be a low-scoring game, and I think the Giants will win.
Interesting pick. I know you have to go with.
I'm a homer. Come on.
You have to go with underdogs because you gotta get points.
That's +2 right there. I got it.
It is. Maybe.
You could be a homer too and take an underdog if you wanted to, if you had that much confidence in your team.
Why are you trying to influence my decisions? That's all I'm going to say. I'm actually going to take... No, I'm not going to do that. Because I don't know who the starting quarterback is.
There we go. You were going to go Rams?
No.
Oh. What other team doesn't have a starting quarterback? Chiefs?
I'm going... that hurts my team's chances. But it's a big spread. Chris, love you. Glad you got over the COVID. And hopefully you're watching. And you told me when Pittsburgh has a big line, they don't cover. So I'm going Cleveland. -8.5.
-8.5. Wow. Yeah, they don't. I think he meant they don't cover when they're a favorite. They're an underdog.
I know that.
Getting 8.5.
No Ben. No TJ Watt.
You got Big Mason. Come on now. The Oklahoma State man.
Clubbed in the head.
Yeah. It's bound to be a lot of penalties, right? Or concussions. All right, that's fine with me. Go for it. I'm going to keep it in the...
so you can pick up 1 point so far. You got to pick up 4.
You're going to miss all your picks. I'm going to hit all mine. And I'm so confident in my picks. I'm going with the New York Jets +3 at the New England Patriots. The Patriots are terrible. Cam Newton is terrible. Jared Stidham must be terrible because they won't even give him a shot. Like, I don't understand it at all. He must be horrendous in practice. It's just, it makes no sense. Their offense is abysmal. The way the Jets are playing.
Mike, just put up the donation that Pat's gonna give to the
no shot
children's brain tumor.
They beat the Browns. They beat who did they beat the week before? Please remind me.
The Rams.
Okay, 2 playoff teams potentially. Beating the Patriots doesn't seem like an issue to me. Did you watch the Patriots game last week?
I have
Cam Newton has
podcast.
Cam Newton has 5 touchdowns and 5 passing touchdowns and 10 interceptions on the season, I think. The offense is just terrible. And now it makes sense why Cam Newton couldn't find a team. Oh, that's a terrible excuse. It's an absolutely terrible excuse. There's teams that have worse wide receivers than the Patriots.
I'm going Titans minus 7.5.
Going big lines. Jeez, you're going minus 8.5, minus 7.5. Jeez. Texans are tricky, are sneaky, sneaky decent. It's not sneaky good.
We talked about it earlier.
Yeah, they're a terrible organization.
Feel that team.
I don't know.
I love J.J. Watt. I love Deshaun Watson. But I don't feel like their locker room is right.
We'll see. Deshaun could put up 30 points himself. I mean, we've seen it in the past, so it just depends what Deshaun you get, honestly. Beautiful. I love this. I can keep going underdogs here. I'm gonna go to the Los Angeles Rams hosting the Arizona Cardinals. Backup quarterback Jared Goff's not playing because he broke his thumb or whatever the hell he's got going on there. Rams are actually the underdog here, so they're getting +3 at home against the Cardinals, and I don't think Kyler Murray is I don't think he's healthy. I don't know what's up with him, but they look bad. They beat the Giants a couple weeks ago, but other than that, in the last 4 weeks, he has not looked good at all. They lost to a mediocre 49ers team, and they put up a lot of points. They ran the ball a lot. I know the Rams have injuries. I just feel like they are in a better place defensively.
Wow.
This game might end 10-7. I don't know.
Backup quarterback that you can't even name over Kyler Murray.
Oh, isn't it Wofford? Yeah.
Has he ever started a game?
Oh, absolutely not. But he's pretty fast. You might give them a different dimension. Jared Goff is terrible. Have you watched Jared Goff? That's a bad contract. Speaking of Carson Wentz, those two together, going 1 and number 2 in that draft, and now looking back at it, it's just fascinating because I've never been a Jared Goff fan, and Carson Wentz, who knows what he'll be on another team. But looking back at that draft, fascinating how that always happens. So, RG3, Andrew Luck, same thing. It's interesting.
No, Luck was because of injury.
Yeah, but still, it's like you can't predict those things. That's all
Luck
I'm saying.
Was a very good quarterback until he decided, I don't know why.
Oh, Wofford could be the new Tom Brady. Who knows? Tom Brady didn't go till the 6th round.
7th.
Well, whatever it was. Very, very far in the draft. Dropped a lot. So, hey, you never know. But I'm going Rams.
Is this the last pick of the contest?
No, you got 2 more. You got 2 more. I got 1 more.
Oh.
I got possible 6 points so far, though. All underdogs, like I said.
So how do you have 6? Oh, you got 1 more.
I got 2.
I'm going to go Seattle.
Hey, yo, Seattle. Mr. Unlimited. Let's go.
I don't want to pick Seattle because I know you're going to say that.
And I get to say it next week, too, because you picked them. It's beautiful. Nothing else.
Nothing else to say. They have to win to get a good position in the playoffs. Maybe number 1. I don't know.
I don't see that happening, right? Not to go on a tangent here, but there's no way the Packers don't clinch the number 1. I mean, it doesn't make sense. The Packers have to lose, the Saints have to lose. I don't see that happening. It's mind-boggling that it's even possible. I didn't know it was until
It sucks that it's only one
Yeah, I don't know.
bye, I should say.
I don't know how I feel about that yet.
You don't have to worry. You're a Giants fan. They won't get a bye.
They got a home game though. All right, last pick here. Let's go to another underdog, and that would be the Jacksonville Jaguars plus 14. The Jaguars, thanks to the Jets' terrible decisions to win football games, have already clinched the number 1 pick in the draft. Getting 14 at the Colts. So you already have the number 1 pick. You're the worst team in the league, record-wise. You're playing a divisional opponent in Week 17 with the opportunity to prevent them from even making the playoffs, and you're getting 14 points on the road. I'm jumping on that. Like that was easy. I'm surprised you didn't take it earlier. Love it though. Possible 8 points. Thank you.
Why would I take that? That's ugly.
You love big lines. 8.5, 7.5.
The Jaguars? Who's their quarterback?
It's a quarterback by committee. It's like the Dolphins. They switch it up. Mike Glennon.
No, not this week. This week they don't have a committee. They have one.
It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. The Colts
Magic ain't coming in.
Colts will fold. They'll choke. I'm predicting a choke. 3 interception game by Phillip Rivers. Oh, it's gonna be magical.
I'm gonna go my last pick, right?
Hope so.
Ravens.
Case
-13.
-13. I hate that pick. It's a terrible pick. But I love it in a way because I know it's not gonna be successful. So that's basically what you're just giving me 8 points this week. You're not even trying to take the 4 points that you can. You went all favorites. This is interesting.
I went safe.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. I thought you would have put some science into this one to prevent me from winning, but looks I'm feeling good. You better keep that Remy handy. You should pour the shot now.
I think you owe me one.
No, I don't. I won the last 2 weeks. I'm creeping up. I was down by 6.
Oh, so I owe you one?
I mean, technically, but there he goes. You're gonna have to cut this off soon, Mike. Brian might not be able to finish it out here. We got to pick the college games real quick.
That's our show.
Let's go.
Sponsored by Remy Martin and Bruce Arians. Wow, like a champ. Beautiful. You'll love to see it. Love to see it.
This week's episode has been sponsored by Rehab.
If you or someone you know has a drinking problem,
either send him to rehab or buy him some Remy.
Oh. All right, we're gonna do this college game. We picking these? We picking the note? All right, cool.
I mean, they're playing right now, so it's not fair.
We'll do a quick rundown.
Alabama, what are they favored by? What's the spread for the Alabama game? 20-something? I didn't get it.
22?
It's something crazy. It's something absolutely ridiculous. They don't belong in that game. I'll make it easy. I'll take Alabama -20, whatever the hell it is.
22. We'll say 22.
Okay. I'm fine with that.
And
so you got Clemson, Ohio State. I'm pulling up the spread now. Apologies for the last minute pull up here, but it should be right at the top here. I think it's a 1-score spread. It's nothing crazy.
You apologize for a last minute pullout?
Yeah.
That hurts.
Yeah. -7. Clemson -7.
Oh. Clemson all day. All day, every day.
I hate Ohio State. I hope I don't want you to get the points. Or the pick, rather. I don't know. Are we doing points for this pick? You want to throw points in this thing?
Yeah.
Extra 1 point? Well, I guess
Yeah.
it would be anyway because they're both favorites. I hope
No,
Ohio
no,
State
no.
loses.
Add
'cause
an extra. Add an extra.
yeah, an extra point. Both games are worth 1 point.
Wait, you picked Notre Dame?
No, I picked Alabama. You had your mind.
How? How? With your little
With my-
leprechaun little look over there?
I can't stand Brian Kelly. I
You
can't
could
stand
be the
Notre Dame.
mascot.
I've been an Alabama fan since birth, before they were even really, really good in this century.
You
So
could be the Notre Dame mascot, like flat out.
I could. You could be like my high school social studies teacher with that look, or a painter, or Bruce Arians. I mean, whatever you
That's
feel
what I'm
like.
going for. I'm going for.
Oh, you're going for the Bruce Arians painter social studies teachers look. Love it. Beautiful look. No, I'm going Bama.
This
Given
is
the
a
points.
Monet.
Oh my God. Let's just wrap this up, please. He starts throwing art references out there. I think there's a show. Do we have a show for that? We have an art show? Maybe we should expand.
He's not allowed on it.
Is he banned from the show? No,
All right,
no.
your producer, wrap it up.
That's it. It's wrapped up. We wrapped it up with Monet.
And Mike, I hope you can edit this in, but I just want to.
Or edit it out if it's something
I want to
terrible.
wish you, Pat, and Mike, a happy New Year, and thank you for having this show with us. And two friends lost parents in the past few days, and I want to wish both of them condolences and the best. And I'm always there for you guys if you watch this. So thank you.
Well said. Well said.
Our condolences as well here based on the Scene Snobs, and especially for John Guapo Maresca, our host of the Guapo Show. He untimely passing of his mother the other day, and yeah, so our hearts go out to all of you guys.